So once we're logged in, we're going to turn the axes off. So you just press it to turn it off. You may also have your grid showing, which we don't really want on either. So you would press here, press no grid, and then the grid will go away. The other thing that you want to do from settings to start with is go into settings. At the bottom of settings, the gear is another settings. And then on the right-hand side of that is another settings. So settings, settings, settings. And you're going to change the rounding. Yours probably says 13 significant figures. Change it to 0. You can press save. I believe it automatically saves as well. Next, the actual part of the calculator we're going to use is the one with the circle and the triangle here. So click on it. It opens up a bunch of different things that we're able to do. And the first thing that we're going to do is go down to kind of the bottom of this regular list, and you'll see circles. Above circles, you have lines. So select line and place the line somewhere in the field here. Once you have that line, you'll go back to the top and select point and place a point. If you're following mine, you can just place it below that line. Technically, it'll work best if you do that as well. Should have waited. Was anyone still waiting on theirs loading? GeoGebra? Start calculator. Should be the blue button in the middle of the screen. So again, once you're there, you're going down to the lines. You're drawing a line. Once you have your line, you're going to go back up, select point, and put a point below the line somewhere. For the line, it can be anywhere. Yeah. And then you're going to place a point below. Next, you're going to go to construct. So on mine, it goes basic tools, edit, media, measure, transform, construct. This gives us options to find a midpoint, perpendicular line, perpendicular bisector, parallel line, angle bisector, or a tangent. For this, we want to find the parallel line. Note there may be a time this year where you have to work on an activity like this on yourself, where I don't walk through everything. It would tell you in the directions to use parallel line. So if you clicked it, you can notice here it says select point and parallel line. So that's what we're going to do. If it goes away, you can just select it again. If you're still not sure, you could press help and it will probably help you with that. But you select parallel line. It says to select a point. We're going to select point C. And then it says select a line for it to be parallel to. We're going to select the line AB. I haven't done it recently, so I'm not sure how it works. Select the line itself, not the point A or B. I think that might mess it up, but I'm not 100% sure there. Notice that your cursor will change as it goes over the line, right? So if I'm off the line, it looks just like a regular pointer. When I go to the line, it becomes a finger pointing, right? You want it to do that. That says that it's going to be on the line, and it will draw a line that is parallel to our first line. On that line, you'll put another point. Now we're going to rename some stuff here. So if you select the basic tool move, this will let us drag things or select the object. We're going to be selecting some objects to be able to change them. So the first object we're going to select is the point A. When you select the point A, it should open up this box here. Note that you can change the color of the point. We're not going to do that. You can change what the point looks like. We're not going to do that. On the third one, it lets you relabel the point, and we're going to label it F. We're going to relabel B as G, C as J, and D as K. If you didn't have D, it's because you didn't place that point yet. So you would go point, place that point on the line, and then go back to move and select it. Does everyone have line F, G, and JK? Or does anyone need a little bit of help? D is K. What did it bring up? That's not it. So if you're trying to place a point, it's a basic tool. Point A is next to the move. But if you're trying to select, it's move, and then you select the point, and you can change it in there after you've selected. Next, we're going to come back and draw a new line. So we select line. We're going to place this line, the first point between F and G. So again, note that the cursor changes when you're on the line. You need to make sure that you are on the line. You're going to place a point there. And your second one is going to be through between J and K. Those ones we're going to leave named A and B. And then we're going to add two more points, one above A and one below B. Does anyone need me to come and look at theirs and help? Yeah.
I'm trying to change it back to F.
I'm not sure what happened. I think it's use a capital letter. The lowercase letter is for lines. So for some reason, I think Like if you look at the very side of the page here, this is line F, the lowercase f here. There's a lowercase g here. So it's probably just the way the program is that it won't let you name that point F because F is the line. Delete. If you go over, scroll up, the delete button. And then you just press on points and lines. So try not to delete the ones you need. So this should be AC, A, B, C, D. So you do need another point down here, and then you need to relabel those points. Yeah. Did anyone else need a second here? All right, this next step, there is a different way to do this. However, it takes more work from what I've seen than just trying to follow these instructions with it. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down here to measure. Note that right now what we have is 2 parallel lines being cut by a transversal, right? We have 8 angles being formed just like we talked about yesterday. And what we're going to look for here is special things that happen when lines are parallel cut by a transversal. So we're coming down here to measure. We're going to measure the angles. It says you can select 3 points or 2 lines. We're going to go with the 3 points one. So the middle of your 3 points is always going to be the vertex. So for the first angles, that's going to be A on all of them. For the second one, that's going to be B for all of them. So if you watch just for a second here, so F, A, C, note that when I'm measuring FAC, that it's measuring that big angle, right? That's going to be more than 180 degrees. We do not want that angle, right? So what you're going to do instead is go FAB. Now you can see on the graph here that it's measuring that smaller angle. Be careful here. It will let you select a point that is not, or a spot that's on the line that's not the point, or a point that's not actually on the line, right? So you want to make sure very carefully that you are selecting the points. From here, you just go in the circle from there. So you're going to go B, A, G, G, A, C, and C, A, F. For now, don't worry that you can't read the angles. That's fine. We'll come back and take care of that in a moment. Yeah, it should make a circle. That's just saying the measures of the angles. So measure angle. You are going to do the same thing on the bottom. So again, recognize that if you go JBA, it's going to measure the big. So you want to go JBD to start with. DDK, KBA, and ABJ. How did I get what? I just measured them. The same way I did the top. If your angles are stacked on top of each other, which they probably are, you're going to use the move tool and just move them out. Hopefully your diagram has some angles that are clearly obtuse and some that are clearly acute. Just make sure that they fit correctly with the acute and obtuse angles, right? So the 113 degree angle has to be this one. right? You do have vertical angles, so you know angles that cross from each other have to be equal as well. So just make sure it lines up that way. So like something like this just doesn't make sense, right? This angle is clearly acute. It can't be 113. Right, I haven't done this for other classes. I think there's something I can do to make the overall activity here easier for you. So we can either do it the way that I've done it on all the other ones, or I can try to show you that if you'd like. Would you like the potential of it being easier later on? It's going to take like a slight amount of work now. But I think it's going to make it easier. Yes? So once you have this set up, right now, each of these angles, if you don't know, is a Greek letter. So you have the angle here that I'm pointing at, that's alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, theta, eta, and I forget that one. It has a weird name. Epsilon, maybe? That's not it. What you can do is if you click on the angle, so the angle that I'm at right here, FAC, the same thing like we could change the name of the point, change it from its Greek name to 1. So from now on, we're going to reference that as angle 1. For the one next to it, label it as angle 2. Make sure I get this right. GAB is angle 3 and angle 4 and angle 4. Yeah. What? Okay, I'll come and take a look at it in a second. Why does it keep changing them back? 1, 2, 3, 4. JBA is 5, 6. This might make it easier for me to grade later too. Oh, I figured it out. That might have been the problem before, Dorian. It looks like you have to press enter for it to actually go. I don't think I ever realized that before. So now we have our 8 angles. They are all measured. Next, we will need a Google Doc. So if you want to open that, if you're waiting. So the middle of the things always has to be the vertex. So delete these. Move. Go with the move. Press move. Select the angle. So in the circle, yeah. Press delete. So now go back down to measure. Yeah, no, that one's fine. Down to measure. Yep. The middle point always has to be the vertex. So go B, A, G. Yep. Now G, A, C. No, you don't have to press. It'll let you keep doing G. Yeah, but did you press G already? Yeah. All right. G, A, C, and then C, A, F. And then you're going to do the same thing on the bottom ones.
use like,
How to get what?
do I use that?
Yeah, why don't you have any measures here? What the? Let's. Oh. We want. Is that coming up as E? We want that to be D, right? And then measure. And the only thing we want to do is and then you'll keep measuring. So B, A, G, then do G, A, C, C, A, F.
Do the circles.
You're measuring angle
Okay.
F, select point F, point A, point B, then start with B, A, G, then you keep going around. Yours isn't a circle because it's 90 degrees. So you're still going G, A, C, C, A, F, and then you're doing the same thing on the lower ones.
Okay.
All of your measures should be between 0 and 180. If you have measures greater than 180, then we need to fix that.
I don't have a measure. It's just blank.
That's because you changed the way you were measuring them. So you're going the wrong way on some of these. So press angle. Go. Also, you missed. So notice B is not on the line. Can you see that B is not on the line? That's a problem. So we said that B had to be on the line. So we need to go back and get it on the line. In fact, it was supposed to be just a line.
A measurements for A look the same as on the board.
So they had to be on. And then we need the points back on there. Except it skipped B. And now you need to go and measure them all. So now you're going to measure the lower ones. Once you get the first one, you keep going in the same order. So now you're starting with B. No, you're starting with B. Sorry, you're starting with, no, sorry, I'm wrong. Click on B again. You just can't read that far away. You're starting at D. So the last point you clicked is going to, nope, the other way. You already measured that angle. Yes. No, you are, yes. Now you're starting where you finished. Nope, you don't need that angle. Yep. Starting at A. Nope. Yes. Now you can pull the angles out and rename them. Anyone else need help? Again, you need to open a Google Doc next.
So my English messed up. So like,
Can you get rid of your axes like I said from the start? So press settings. The first button there.
so then when I press it, okay, well that should be better. And then that goes back to the same
Right, we're doing points.
point.
You're selecting 3 points with the vertex being the middle.
So we select when we have the angle, when we click the angle,
Yes.
and we select the 3 points.
Yep. Okay, now you have the next one already, so go to A, or what, I can't read, K,
Okay.
B, up, yep, and then that point, nope, that same point you just ended on, down, click on it, no, click on it, down, here. Now you need to do these top ones. Well, let me bring up the chat. To measure angles again, on the side here is the tool for measuring angles. And then you need to make sure that you go in the right order. So it's 3 points, the middle one being the vertex. And then you want to make sure that it is a degree less than 180. Then you just keep going around the angle that way. Again, opening a Google Doc next for those waiting. In your Google Doc, you're going to add a table. And that table is going to be 9 by 6. You don't have to have the angles in your table. But what we did by renaming the angles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 was instead of having to name them by their actual names, FAC and so on, we can just call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 here. I don't think your line is parallel. Did you use the parallel line thing when you drew the line? The fact that I can move it this way says that it is not. This line has to go on that, so it can't come before, and that can't come before. So you're drawing another point below the line. You're drawing a point below the line, so you need to go to point. Somewhere below that line, put a point. You're going to draw a parallel line. Select the point, select the line. Now you're putting another point over there. You just select point. Now relabel those as J and K. You need move. Cancel. You just select the move tool. Well, that works. Once you have your table, right, we have a measure, we have an angle 1. So put your measure of angle 1 in here, your measure of angle 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for me, my angle 1, I would put 113. And my other, I believe, is 67. So 113, 67. Angle 3 is 113. Angle 4 is 67. 113 and 67. 113 and 67. Once you have your first measure drawn in, then you go back to it. You can either move A, B, or G and come up with a new set of angles. So my second one here, I would start with 85 and 95, 85, 95. And it should be able to understand kind of how that works. Then hopefully fairly quickly, once you have that, so again, if you're having problems moving stuff, you select the move tool at the top, and then you can move angles so they don't overlap. Insert table 9x6. So as you're moving them, you might want to change your labels right away. So like making this one angle 1 right away. So you don't have to, yeah, so like select it, move it where you want it, and change its name. That's where you want it. Change it from that to 1. Enter. Yep. And then, so just move it and fix it. Or you can do it the way you were doing, it's fine. Jasmine, you have your first one done. It looks good, I think. Yep. Settings. Didn't like it when you did it before. For some reason, sometimes it doesn't like it. The first time, it looks like we have a problem though. So to me, it looks like B is not on this line, and it has to be. As far as I know, there's not a way to make it go there without deleting it, which is not necessarily fun. So when we drew this line, we had to make it where the pointer changed over, so it was on. And then we needed new points here and here. All right, so you want to move those angles out and rename them. The goal would be to have that table filled in before you leave today. Yep. So we've got 7-ish minutes to get there. Once you get the first one or first two filled in, the other three should go very, very quickly. What? So you have the first angle done. Then you're going to back here, and you're just moving point A so that you get different measures. So now I have 124 and 56. And then hopefully you recognize that there's a pattern going on that you don't need to flip back and forth 100 times to get your numbers. So you're measuring them too big. All right, so what you want to do quick is just go, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think, right? I'll pull up the other one again. I mean, if you have that much done, you should be able to finish the chart. Except that your numbers are wrong. Did you miss the part where I said all the numbers have to be between 0 and 180? Or that all the angles should be the 8 angles that we're measuring? I can probably try to help you with this part of it tomorrow. Because I don't think I have enough time to fix that right now. If what you have here is good and you have your table set, what you do want to do with this is make sure you take a screenshot of it and post it into the Google Doc so you don't lose it. As long as you have that table completed, I don't think that you're going to need this diagram anymore for the rest of what we're going to do tomorrow. If you do, I will probably have it drawn on my computer if you need to manipulate it a little bit first. But it does need to be right on yours first so you can get the screenshot. Move, and then you pull the pieces out. So angle 1 is this angle, 2, 3, 4, like I have on the board. So Rhiannon, you're set for today. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across the top, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, down the row or column. So move A or B, you just move point A. I would suggest that if you did not get your chart filled in yet, that you leave this tab open until tomorrow. I don't know exactly that Chromebooks let you do that for long term, but as long as you don't shut it down, it'll be fine, I think. That would be my suggestion. Otherwise, we're going to have to reopen it and redo it all tomorrow. So now your angle 1 is, oh, your angle 1 should have been that one. So you just refill in with the new numbers.
6, 8, 10, and 12 are now dismissed to their next class.
It gets rid of them then? I thought it just didn't let you access them during the class. You could try quick to see if there's a way to sign in. I don't know if it lets you sign in through Google maybe, and see if it'll let you save it. I mean, if you're dismissed, yeah. Yeah, if you need to save it somehow, you might try again. Yeah, you should be able to just make an account real quick with your Google login and save it that way if you're going to need to close stuff in the other class. Tomorrow you will. You're not finished with it yet. This was the setup to be able to answer questions. Someone there? No. Andre, is that working? Is that working? I think once you're signed in, it should be kind of, let's see. Then on the top there on the left, you can do save. And then if you log back in later, it should still be there. At the ratio